Good afternoon, students. Good afternoon. In my previous class, I have completed up to the epithelial tissue and different characters of epithelial tissue. Today, I will start from the different types of epithelial tissue. So, you can remember the different properties of epithelial tissue are that it is having a non-cellular layer which is called basement membrane, and basement membrane is having two layers, that is basal lamina and fibrous outer fibrous layer, and it is having regeneration power. And that epithelial tissue can be differentiated mainly into two types. What are they? First one is covering epithelium, another one is glandular epithelium. Under that covering epithelium means that epithelial tissue which will cover the outer and inner lining. Okay, so that is covering epithelial tissue. And glandular epithelial tissue, that means in that case glands will be there, so from the gland some secretions will be there. So first I will talk about the covering epithelial tissue. Covering epithelial tissue mainly divided into two types: simple epithelial tissue, compound epithelial tissue. Under that covering epithelial tissue, it is divided into simple epithelial tissue and compound epithelial tissue. Simple epithelial tissue means tissue which are having only one layer. Okay, cells of this tissue are arranged in a single layer. It is called as simple epithelial tissue, and if more than one layer is there, that means if many layers are present, that is called as compound epithelial tissue. Under that simple epithelial and another one in between them which is called as transitional epithelial tissue. In some you will find that in some it can be under compound epithelial tissue. So under simple epithelial tissue, under simple epithelial tissue, we will get four main types. Sorry students, under that simple epithelial tissue, it can be differentiated into squamous, cuboidal, columnar, pseudo stratified. These are the main types of tissue which can be found under the simple covering epithelial tissue. And under the compound epithelial tissue, we will be find mainly stratified type of epithelial tissue that are squamous, stratified epithelial tissue, squamous stratified epithelial tissue, cuboidal stratified epithelium tissue, or columnar stratified epithelial tissue. These are the tissues which can be found under the compound epithelial tissue. Okay, means which chapter? This chapter is from that animal tissue. Okay, so it is from that animal tissue. In my previous class, I have started the different types of tissues. Today, I am explaining the epithelial tissue particularly. And under that glandular epithelial tissue, we will find, that means glandular epithelial tissue can be differentiated into so many types. They are having different types of bases on which this type of glandular epithelial tissue will be situated. I will talk about that later. First, first I will talk about the simple covering epithelial tissue. Under that, these are squamous epithelial tissue. So first I will talk about the squamous epithelial tissue. The name of the chapter is Structural Organization in Animals. From this chapter, I am discussing about the types of epithelial tissue. Name of the chapter is chapter number 7, Structural Organization in Animals. So now I am rubbing that part. Simple squamous type of epithelial tissue. In that type of tissue, we will find the basement membrane because it is the general characteristics of epithelial tissue, and above that the tissues are arranged like that. Okay, these are the shape of these tissues are polygonal in shape, but if we see the that view, we will find that these are looking like that. Okay, if we see from that upper surface, we will be able to find that they are a polygonal in shape, but if we see from the that side, then we will see that these are the single layers of cells are present and their shape is like that, and that is simple squamous epithelial tissue. And their edges, the cells of these tissues, the edges of the cells are attached, closely attached like a tiles. That's why it is called as pavement membrane. It is called as pavement membrane, as their edges are attached or fit like tiles. It is forming like floor of the tiles. That's why it is called as pavement membrane. And where squamous epithelial tissues can be found? Squamous epithelial tissues can be found in many places, like walls of the blood vessels, air sacs of the lungs. Okay, and they are having a diffusible boundaries by which diffusion is taking place. So what is the location of squamous epithelial tissue? Wall of the blood vessels, air sacs of the lungs are examples of simple squamous epithelial tissue. Next, if I consider the simple cuboidal epithelial tissue, the next one is simple cuboidal epithelial tissue. In that case, they are forming single layer of cells, and cells look like cube. As their name suggests that it is cuboidal, that means cells of this tissue are single layer because it is simple cuboidal and the shape of the cells is cube-like. That's why we are calling it cuboidal epithelial tissue. It can be found in the ducts of glands, tubular parts of the nephron and kidney, and its main function is the secretion and absorption. Its main function is the secretion and absorption. You know what, that in that it is the cuboidal cell sometimes produces gametes, and these type of special cuboidal epithelial cells are called as germinal epithelium. What it is called as? Germinal cuboidal epithelium. Germinal cuboidal epithelium means where germ cells are present, that means from where gametes will be produced. You know what is gamete? So from that germinal cuboidal epithelium cells, gametes will be produced. So these are the special type of cuboidal tissue, and especially these are related to secretion and absorption. Those cuboidal tissue which are performing the absorption, they are having some finger-like projections, and these projections are called as microvilli. This type of villi are present in some cuboidal epithelial tissue. These are called as brass bordered brass bordered cuboidal epithelial tissue. Okay, some microvilli are present at the free surface of the cell. These are helping in absorption, because by which it is increasing their surface area, which is helping in absorption, and this type of special cuboidal epithelial tissue is called as brass bordered cuboidal epithelial tissue. Okay, so you know the structure, function and location of the cuboidal tissue, simple cuboidal tissue. Next I will talk about the simple columnar epithelial tissue. Simple columnar epithelial tissue. Okay, so in that simple columnar tissue, they are composed of single layer of tall and slender cells. They are having small and column like cells. Look, so this one is the basement membrane they are having, and their free surface is quite broader than the portion which is attached with the basement, and their nucleus is situated at the base. It is important criteria in case of columnar epithelial tissue that their nuclei are located at the base. Their nuclei, but in case of squamous epithelial tissue and cuboidal epithelial tissue, their nucleus was at the center. But in case of columnar epithelial tissue, their nucleus is situated at the base. And you can see that they are quite tall, slender, that's why it is called as columnar epithelial tissue. And columnar epithelial tissue, in some columnar epithelial tissue, some cells are present which are called as goblet cells. Goblet cells which can secrete mucus. Okay, in some special columnar tissue, they are modified to secrete mucus. This special type of columnar epithelial tissue is called as goblet cells. From that goblet cells, mucus will be secreted. Okay, so from where it will be present? It will be from where we get mucus, because the inner lining of the stomach, these type of tissues can be present, because where mucus that in that place mucus must be secreted. And in some columnar epithelial tissue, their free surface is having microvilli. In some columnar epithelial tissue, their free surface is microvilli. They are found. This type of columnar epithelial tissue is called as brass bordered columnar epithelial tissue, and this type of columnar tissue is also helping in absorption, because where we will get microvilli, that places will help us in absorption. So what is the location of this columnar epithelial tissue? They are found in the lining of the stomach, intestine, and what is the function of that cells? They are secretion, absorption, like cuboidal epithelial tissue. They are performing the secretion, absorption function. Okay. So this is all about columnar epithelial tissue. Next part is, that is ciliated epithelial tissue. Ciliated epithelial tissue means cilia will be present in those type of tissues are called as ciliated epithelial tissue, and the cilia arises from a granule which is called as basal granule. Okay. So these cilia may be present on the cuboidal tissue or may be present on the columnar tissue. So usually these are cuboidal or columnar. Look, it will be like that. That is basement membrane, that is columnar tissue, cilia is present like that, or it may be like that. Okay, so that is simple ciliated columnar epithelial tissue, that is simple ciliated cuboidal epithelial tissue. And where we will get this, and what is the function of this? Their function is to move particles or mucus in a specific direction over the epithelium. With the beating of the cilia, they will move the mucus or particles at the proper or specific direction over the epithelium. Where they are present mainly in the hollow organs like bronchioles and fallopian tube. And this type of special epithelial tissue, that is simple columnar epithelial tissue, can be found in the fallopian tube, and simple cuboidal ciliated epithelial tissue mainly found in the parts of the nephron. Okay, so these are the functions and locations of simple ciliated epithelial tissue. Next type of tissue is pseudostratified epithelial tissue. Next type of tissue is pseudostratified epithelial tissue. In that pseudostratified epithelial tissue, look first their arrangement, how they are arranged. That is the basement membrane. Is like that. Some of the cells are smaller in size and some of the cells are larger in size, and all the cells are attached with the basement membrane, but they are not able to reach the smaller cells. Some of the smaller cells are not able to reach the free surface. That's why they are looking like a two or multi-layered, bilayer or multi-layer. That's why it is called as pseudostratified. I am repeating that part, that in that pseudostratified epithelial tissues, some of the cells are larger in size and some of the cells are smaller in size. All are attached with the basal lamina or part of the basement membrane, but the small cells are not able to reach the free surface. That's why from the upper surface, and look at their nucleus. Their nucleus is situated at different position. That's why when you will see it from the upper surface, it looks like that it is having two layers or more than two layers. That's why it looks like bilayer or multi-layer, but actually it is not. It is single layered cells. That's why its name is given as pseudo. That's why we have used that term, pseudostratified epithelial tissue. Okay, and from where we will get pseudostratified epithelial tissue, that means and in that case shorter cells are having round nuclei, while the taller cells have the oval type of nuclei. Okay, and location is that pseudostratified columnar epithelial tissue is found in the salivary gland, parotid gland. Okay, this is the trachea of the bronchi. This is the position of the location of the pseudostratified epithelial tissue. So this is all about simple epithelial tissue. Next part is transitional epithelial tissue. Transitional epithelial tissue. So transitional, let me draw. Look, that type of tissue is called as transitional epithelial tissue. What happens that it has fewer layers of cells composed of the stratified epithelial tissue, but it is much thinner and more stretchable than the stratified epithelial tissue. It can be stretched. Okay, that means where it will be present? It will be present on those places where stretching is required. So where stretching is required, one example you know very easily, that is urinary bladder, because when the urine will be in the urinary bladder, the bladder will be stretched. So it is this type of transitional epithelial tissue is present in the urinary bladder, and cells of the superficial layers are large, broad, rectangular. When the organs will expand and the cells of the, that means when the organs expand, the cells of the middle layers and the surface layer become broader and thinner. Okay, and this can be found in particularly urinary bladder, ureter, renal pelvis. These are the position. Look, this when the cells are in relaxed state, that means when they are quite larger in size, but when they are in contact state they become flatter and thinner. Okay, due to contact state or stretch condition, the cells will be look there like that. That means the cells can change their shape. That type of tissue is called as transitional epithelial tissue. Next one is stratified epithelial tissue. So under that stratified epithelial tissue, that means which are having more than one layers, or that means many layers are present, it is called as stratified epithelial tissue. And stratified epithelial tissue also can be divided into stratified columnar, stratified squamous, stratified cuboidal. First I will talk about the stratified cuboidal epithelial tissue. Stratified cuboidal. You can remember that characteristics of cuboidal epithelial tissue. So stratified means in that case many layers will be found, and the deepest layers are formed are short and columnar and directly attached with the basement membrane, and the superficial layers will be the cuboidal cells. There may be of many cells, okay. Just don't look into this part. The upper layer will be made up of columnar cells. The superficial layer will be made up of columnar cell in case of particularly cuboidal cells. I was talking about stratified cuboidal cells. Though, so the superficial layer will be cuboidal cells. So what is the location of this type of cells? These type of cells can be found in the fish epidermis and some larger ducts of pancreas and in salivary glands. This type of stratified cuboidal epithelial tissue can be found. Same in case of stratified squamous epithelial tissue. Stratified squamous epithelial tissue. What happens in that case? That in case of stratified squamous epithelial tissue, the upper layer of the tissue is squamous. Okay. So cells which are at the free surface will be squamous type, and the tissue which are present at the base they may be columnar or cuboidal, but the superficial layer will be, that is squamous type of cells. So that is called as stratified squamous epithelial tissue, and the deepest layer is called as stratum germinativum. And this stratified squamous epithelial tissue can be differentiated into two: keratinized and non-keratinized. That stratified squamous epithelial tissue can be differentiated into two: keratinized stratified squamous or non-keratinized. Keratinized stratified epithelium, in that case on the upper surface of above the upper layer there will be layer of keratin. Okay, there will be layer of keratin. In that particular tissue will be called as keratinized, and where keratin will be absent it is called as non-keratinized. And keratinized tissue will be mainly made up of dead cells. That's why it can be found in the particularly skin. And non-keratinized dry surface, where the dry surfaces are present, keratinized tissue can be found at those places. And where in the particularly in the moist surfaces like buccal cavity, esophagus, in that places non-keratinized epithelial stratified squamous epithelial tissue can be found. And so these are the location of stratified keratinized and non-keratinized type of epithelial tissue. Sorry students. So next part is stratified columnar epithelial tissue. Stratified columnar epithelial tissue. The criteria are same. That means they are basement attachment, their upper surface or free surface or superficial layer will be made up of columnar type of cells in that particular type of stratified epithelial tissue, and they are mainly they are having columnar type of cells, and their location is covering in the epiglottis, urethra, mammary gland, upper part of the palate. These are the locations where stratified columnar epithelial tissue can be found. So these are all about different type of compound epithelial tissue and simple epithelial tissue. That means covering epithelial tissue can be found. Only glandular epithelial tissue is left. In my next class I will talk about the glandular epithelial tissue. And you know what, that in the all the cells in the epithelial tissue are joined together by some intercellular gaps, okay, with the little intercellular materials, and they are having some types of junctions, okay, which are connecting between the neighboring tissue or cell. These are called as tight junctions, adhering junctions and gap junctions. So what are the main junctions of cells found in the cells of epithelial tissue? Tight junctions, gap junctions and adhering junctions. Okay, in the cells of the epithelial tissues many junctions can be found. These are tight junctions, gap junctions and adhering. Tight junctions means they are helping the cells to stop crossing or leaking around. Okay, so tight, you know the meaning of tight. So in that, with the help of that junction, no leaking between the cells will be there. Okay, they help to stop substances from leaking around the tissue. This is called as tight junction. And adhering junctions will perform a cementing like material with the neighboring cells to attach with the neighboring cells together. Adhering junctions will act as a cementing like material which will act as a jointing material with the tissue, neighboring tissue. And gap junctions means they will communicate with each other by connecting the cytoplasm of adjoining cells for rapid transfer of small ions, molecules. So gap junction is, as their name suggests, that means with the help of this junction some molecules can pass, like small molecules, some ions with the pass with that junction, that is called as adherent junction. This is the junction between the cytoplasm of adjacent cells or tissue. Okay, so these are the main junctions can be found in case of epithelial tissue. So in my next class I will start with the glandular epithelial tissue, and next after that we will read about the other type of tissue. Okay, so up to this portion, if you are having any queries, ask me first. Have you understood up to this portion? Let me know, please. Okay, so thank you and bye.